Ahoy everyone, I'm Chris from Roasted Rabbit and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a charbroiled quail with raisins and cabbage. Okay, so this is a pretty simple meal. And I know I say that a lot, but a lot of times I'll spend up to almost an hour cooking typically. You get that onto like 30 minutes of video and then I edit it down to like 5 or 6 minutes so I can keep your attention. This isn't that. This is one of those, it only takes a handful of minutes to do the different pieces of this. There's only a handful of ingredients and it tastes great. It's one of those, it's a little bit more subtle of flavor, but the sweetness of the raisins kind of comes out and it's delicious. You'll love this. Okay, so you can actually do this in the oven the whole time and just roast it, but I really love the grill. It gives you some of those grill char marks, which aesthetically is nice, and then there's just a little bit of a smokiness on the outside if you start it on the grill. So what I do is I start these on the grill. Once I cook on one side for a few minutes, flip it, the other side for a few minutes, and I get those char marks. That's usually enough. And then from there, I bring it inside and I finish it off in the oven, okay? Now, you could do this semi-boneless, but again, that just takes practice to get all those bones out. I spatchcock these, so it's much simpler, and it gets you a little bit more form on the breast because the breast bone kind of holds the breast meat up and out and postured, so it just looks nice. So if you're not familiar with spatchcocking, just get your shears, flip the bird around and cut along the spine on either side from the head down to the rear, and that just kind of comes out. So the only thing left is obviously the front breast bone and then the ribs. So you got to be careful when you're taking the meat out though. So once you have them, remember whatever position you put them in, that's what they're going to cook at, and they're going to stay in that position. So hold it to where you like it. And then let it cook for a few minutes and it'll stiffen up and keep that posture. So the next thing you want to do after you flip them carefully and you've gotten them the first round on the grill, bring them inside, and then you want to get your golden raisins. Okay, I use a cooking sherry, like a dry sherry. Just kind of fill it up until it covers them. Stick that in the microwave for about a minute. And stir them around a little bit and just let it soak in some of that sherry. Let it cool down for a little bit, then you can handle them with your hands. And then flip the birds over on some foil to where their open cavity is kind of there ready to fill. You can stuff them with the raisins and then use that foil to tint over them and stick that in the oven. So the next thing you want to do, like every time we cook, heat up your oil on the skillet. Put your onions or your shallots or whatever you're using in there, stir it up, let them sweat a little bit, and they'll kind of cook down, get a little bit translucent, then you're ready for the cabbage. So after that's, the onions are good, throw the cabbage in there, the caraway seeds, some of the bay leaves, and just kind of mix that around a little bit. And like anything with a lot of moisture, that's going to cook down. That volume, at first it looks like it's overfilling the pan, but really pretty quickly it's going to cook down after a few minutes. It'll collapse. All that cooking sherry that didn't get evaporated or soaked in by the raisins, pour that in as well. Mix that up until it largely evaporates because you don't want soggy cabbage. But you don't want it to start to burn when everything dries up either. So just kind of move it around until most of it's been evaporated. And then the cabbage is done. You're ready to go. So after that, you're ready to plate. See, it was that simple. So you take the cabbage, put a nice bed of it on your plate, and then take the quail out of the oven, let them cool down a little bit, and then get some tongs and carefully place them on the cabbage with those raisins. And then, easy garnish. Take some of those fresh sage leaves and stick those over it, and you're good to go. So I told you so, right? Very simple meal to cook. St. Patty's Day is on the horizon, so I wanted to bring something with some cabbage. Just little of a theme to go with your meal. I hope you loved it. I hope it was easy for you. If it wasn't, let me know. If you have any questions, like I said, leave it down below. Don't forget to subscribe. That's what helps us out. And if nothing else, God bless.